Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. It is Tuesday, July 28th at 2 p.m. and we are here for our regularly scheduled commission business meeting. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. Present in the hearing room, we have Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner C. Williams, and myself, Chair Belser. Appearing virtually, we have Commissioner Thomas and Commissioner Caston. Telephonically, do we have Commissioner J. Williams?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Commissioner Irvin and Commissioner J. Williams are with us telephonically. Before we begin, I would ask...
This is Commissioner Irvin.
Thank you, Commissioner Irvin. Before we begin, I would ask that you join me for a moment of silent reflection, please. Thank you. We will recognize Mr. Scarborough to bring up the matters before us today.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Vice Chair Powers and Commissioners. First order of business is to set the next Commission business meeting. Staff recommends that the next regularly scheduled meeting be held on Thursday, August the 11th at 2 p.m., 2 weeks from today.
Our next regularly scheduled business meeting will be set 2 weeks from today on Thursday, August 11th at 2 p.m. Mr. Scarborough.
Yes, ma'am. We have a full agenda again today. There are 16 items on the utilities agenda and 20 items on the motor carrier agenda. Item number 1 is in docket number 2009-144C, which is a request from TracFone Wireless, also known as SafeLink Wireless, Incorporated, for confidential treatment of its ETC quarterly report for the month ending June 30th, 2022.
Commissioners, we've heard the item described in agenda item number 1. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Irvin, and I have a motion.
Please go ahead, Commissioner Irvin.
I move the Commission grant the request of SafeLink Wireless Incorporated for confidential treatment of the ETC quarterly report for the month ending June 30, 2022. So moved.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Irvin. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 2 involves docket number 2018-349C. Staff presents for Commission consideration FiberLight LLC's letter regarding the proposed transfer of indirect ownership and control of FiberLight LLC to Fiber Bidco LLC.
Commissioners, we've heard the item in agenda item number 2 described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
on July 5th, 2022, the Commission was notified by Fiber Bidco LLC, transferee, and FiberLight LLC of a proposed transaction which will result in Fiber Bidco LLC indirectly acquiring a 100% controlling ownership interest in FiberLight. The transaction through FiberLight Holdings 1 LLC, or FH1, the indirect parent of FiberLight and Thermo Acquisitions Incorporated, FH1's direct parent. The transaction will not result in any loss or impairment of service for any of FiberLight's customers and will have no adverse effects upon competition in any area where FiberLight provides communication services. As a result of the transaction, FiberLight will gain access to the financial resources of transferee and its affiliates. The proposed transaction will occur at the parent level only. No assignment of licenses, assets, or customers will occur as a consequence of the proposed transaction. Immediately following the consummation of the transaction, FiberLight will continue to provide service to its existing customers pursuant to the same rates, terms, and conditions. I move that the Commission accept as information the notification in this docket with regard to the change in control of FiberLight LLC to Fiber Bidco LLC. I also move that the company advise the commission once the transaction has been consummated. So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Hearing the motion of Commissioner Thomas, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 3 on the utilities agenda is in docket number 2022-187C, which is Comporium Incorporated's motion to dismiss the complaint filed against it by SXCW Properties 2 LLC. Staff recommends that this item be carried over.
This item will be carried over.
Item number 4 is in docket number 2020-51-G. This is a request for approval of amendment number 1 to the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Nexans High Voltage USA Incorporated.
With regard to item 4, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Madam Chair, I move that the commission approve Amendment 1 to this agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Nexans High Voltage USA Incorporated. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is in docket number 2022-236G, which is a request for approval of the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Diatom US Incorporated.
Commissioners, with regard to item 5, as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission approve the agreement for transportation service with firm gas standby between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Diatom US Incorporated. So moved.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll
Madam
proceed.
Chair,
Commissioner Irvin.
it's my understanding that the Office of Regulatory Staff has reviewed the company's filing and does not object to approval of this agreement. Is that correct?
Commissioner Irvin, that's my understanding as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm ready to vote.
Thank you, sir. Commissioners, we'll proceed to a roll call vote and begin with Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2022-155E. Staff presents for commission consideration a request for reconsideration from Mark Baker, President of Soft Lights Foundation, concerning Duke Energy Progress' LLC's motion to dismiss the petition.
Commissioners, we've heard the item 6 is described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, please go ahead.
The filing of July 12, 2022 by the complainant was added to the agenda as a request for reconsideration. While filing objects to the commission's decision, it makes no specific request of reconsideration of the commission's decision and does not comport with the regulation 103-825 governing the contents of a petition for rehearing, reconsideration. I move the commission take no action of the following. So moved.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 involves docket number 2022-200E. This is Duke Energy Progress LLC's motion to dismiss Melinda E. McKissick's complaint against the company.
Commissioners, with regard to item 7, as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
thank you. I move that the commission deny Duke Energy Progress LLC's motion to dismiss the petition of Melinda McKissick. I move that the matter proceed to an evidentiary hearing before the full commission as previously scheduled on September the 7th, 2022. I also move that the commission authorize the commission staff to modify the pre-file testimony deadlines by hearing officer directive. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in docket number 2021-9E. Staff presents for commission consideration Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's updates to its 2021 Integrated Resource Plan.
With regard to item 8, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Carolee Williams.
thank you. The commission accepts the Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's 2021 Integrated Resource Plan update as being in the public interest. ORS finds the Dominion 2021 IRP update to be reasonable. SACE, Conservation, CCL, and SACEBA, through joint comments, also recommend approval of the Dominion 2021 IRP update. I move that the commission find that Dominion has met the requirements for the 2021 IRP update. I remind Dominion that in our approval of the 2020 IRP, there were additional requirements to be included, not only in Dominion's IRP updates for 2021, but also in the 2020 IRP update and the 2023 IRP. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Carolee Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Williams.
thank you. This Integrated Resource Plan approvals in South Carolina are in their infancy since the adoption of the Energy Freedom Act by the legislature. This act is where, for the first time, the PSC was given the ability to approve, modify, or deny an IRP and their annual updates. This is the first IRP update that the Commission has reviewed. The Commission appreciates the initial achievements by the company in meeting a lengthy list of requirements that were a part of our order approving Dominion's 2020 IRP. We appreciate the significant work that Dominion has invested in the stakeholder process and apparent results, and that a transparent stakeholder process is in place and has the expertise to work through state of the industry refinements to the IRP going forward, which were described by the interveners and stakeholders. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 9 also involves IRP updates. Dockets numbered 2019-224E and 2019-225E respectively are Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's and Duke Energy Progress LLC's 2022 Integrated Resource Plan updates.
Commissioners, we've heard item 9 is described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston,
I move that the commission adopt the following procedure schedule for the purposes of consideration of Dominion Energy Carolina and Duke Energy Carolina and Duke Energy Progress's IRP updates. Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC's 2021 IRP updates filed with the Commission July 1st, 2022. Staff's proposed date for the Office of Regulatory Staff to file its report regarding the sufficiency of DEC's and DEP's 2021 IRP update, October 31st, 2022. Staff's proposed date for other parties of records, not including the ORS, to file comments on the Office of Regulatory Staff's report November 30th, 2022. Staff's proposed date for all parties of record, including the ORS, to file responses to the comments filed about the ORS report December 30th, 2022. Staff's proposed date for commission to hear stakeholders' presentations regarding Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC's 2021 IRP update, only if the commissioners desire to do so. January 10th, 2023. The parties can request that the commissioners can find that a hearing is warranted instead of presentations. I also move that the commission authorizes the commission staff to modify the schedule if appropriate by hearing officer directed. I so move.
thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard Commissioner Caston's motion. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 10 is in docket number 2019-386E. This is a request by Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of its Code of Conduct reporting for the calendar year 2021.
Commissioners, with regard to item number 10, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner J. Williams,
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for confidential treatment of the Code of Conduct reporting calendar year 2021.
thank you.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion? Commissioners, I would note for the record that I am recused from this docket. At the time this docket was ongoing and beginning, I was previously employed by the Office of Regulatory Staff, and out of an abundance of caution, when I came on the commission, I recused from this docket and several others, but I remain recused on this docket. So that will affect item number 10 and actually item number 11. Hearing no discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, as you noted, item number 11 is also in docket number 2019-386E. Staff presents for commission consideration Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated's request for approval of a gas affiliate inventory transfer agreement.
Commissioners, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that we approve the company's request to enter into the gas affiliate inventory transfer agreement. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, you've heard the motion of Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner J. Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 12 is in docket number 2022-105E. Staff presents for commission consideration the following issues related to order number 2022-170. Item 1, the revelation of the sealed submissions of names of the filers and other relevant information as requested by the commissioners regarding the responses to the request for proposal, RFP solicitation, number 54000232176, issued pursuant to order number 2022-170. And 2, other administrative tasks related to the responses to the RFP, including but not limited to scheduling public interviews and scheduling deadlines for the parties in the affected dockets to submit questions for the prospective consultant, and scheduling deadlines for the commission to provide the prospective external qualified, independent third-party consultants or experts with proposed questions from the commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. At this time, I recognize Executive Director Boyd.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman and Commissioners. Procurement Director Matthew Hall is unable to be here this afternoon. He did provide me with 3 envelopes, sealed envelopes, which are in the chair beside me, and I will open them when you direct me to, Madam Chair. I will direct the Commission to a final regulation that was filed in docket number 2019-289A. This final regulation was published in the South Carolina State Register on February 25th, 2022. The regulation number is 103811. The title of the regulation is Procedure to Employ, through contract or otherwise, qualified independent third-party consultants or experts. In Section B of the final regulation 103811, the process for opening sealed responses to requests for proposals. The first part of that regulation reads, all requests for proposals, submissions, or filings to the Commission must be filed in a sealed envelope. Such submissions by prospective external qualified independent third-party consultants or experts will remain sealed until a publicly noticed meeting. At this meeting, at the direction of the chair, the sealed submissions will be opened and the name or names of the file or filers and other relevant information as requested by the commissioners will be revealed.
Ms. Boyd, you stated you received the envelopes from Mr. Hall, the Procurement Director,
This morning.
and they were sealed at that time?
They are, yes,
And those
ma'am.
remain sealed?
They are.
Okay, you may proceed with opening those envelopes, please.
Madam Chair, the first bid submission that I've opened is from the Brattle Group Incorporated, and the address is in Boston, Massachusetts. The second submission Madam Chair, is from London Economics International, and this consultant is located in Boston, Massachusetts. Madam Chair, the final submission is from PA Consulting Group Incorporated, and this consultant is located in New York.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. And under item 1 on the agenda, we are only receiving the submissions today, opening the bids. There's no discussion, is that correct?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Thank you. With regard to part 2, and I believe that was a schedule, is that correct, Mr. Scarborough?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Commissioners, does anyone have a motion on a schedule for, related to the responses and a timeline, so to speak?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner C. Williams.
thank you. In the matter of the request for proposals of consultants and experts to review and provide external qualified independent review of the South Carolina Public Service Authorities, also known as Santee Cooper's 2023 Integrated Resource Plan, I move that we adopt the following schedule. I further move that the Commission authorizes the Commission staff to modify the schedule if appropriate by the hearing officer directive. Proposals were due on or before 2 p.m. on July 18th, 2022. Open file proposals received at this Commission business meeting on Thursday, July 28th, 2022. Public information from response to the RFP filed in the docket in the DMS no later than 4:45 on Friday, July 29th, 2022. Questions from parties for prospective third-party consultants and experts in the above referenced docket filed with the Commission by Friday, August 19th, 2022. Questions from commissioners for prospective third-party consultants and experts issued in a hearing officer directive by Friday, August 19th, 2022. Public interviews of prospective third-party consultants and experts at a special Commission business meeting Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Feedback related to the public interviews from parties filed with the Commission by 3 p.m. Friday, September 2nd, 2022. Final written conflicts check letter from prospective third-party consultants and experts filed with the Commission by 3 p.m. Friday, September 2nd, 2022. Commission decision regarding hiring third-party consultants and experts, regular Commission business meeting on Thursday, September 15th, 2022. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner C. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner C. Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye, and just after we finish this vote, I do have a comment, please.
Yes, sir. Do we need to hear it before we conclude the vote?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner J. Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
I vote aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries. And I recognize Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you. I would like to just go back and mention item number 11 again. Perhaps I'm mistaken, but I thought you said you were recused on item number 11. And again, perhaps I'm mistaken, but I thought I heard you vote on item number 11.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. I appreciate it. I need all the help I can get in staying straight. So I think I did, and I respectfully request leave and unanimous consent that my vote be stricken and I show as being recused on that item. Any objection, Commissioners? Hearing none, we'll strike that. Thank you, Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you.
Item number 13 is in docket number ND 2022-30E. Staff presents for commission consideration a renewable energy integration study conducted pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 58-37-60, the scheduling of workshops, the issuance of invitations to stakeholders, stakeholder surveys, and a draft workshop agenda, and any other issues related to the renewable energy integration study.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, we've heard item 13 is described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Thank you. In 2019, the General Assembly passed legislation supporting an independent study to evaluate the integration of renewable energy and emerging energy technologies. The Public Service Commission and the Office of Regulatory Staff were given the authority to create an integration study, specifically requiring evaluation of what is required for electrical utilities to integrate increased levels of renewable energy and emerging energy technologies while maintaining economic, reliable, and safe operation of the electricity grid in a manner consistent with the public interest. Studies shall be based on the balancing areas of each electrical utility. The legislation specifically says that the Commission shall provide opportunity for interested parties to provide input on the appropriate scope of study. To achieve the results described in this legislation, the Commission will need a detailed scope of services from which to estimate cost, request funding, and seek consultant services. I move that the Commission initiate this process with a series of scoping workshops to be held on August 25th and 26th, 2022, engaging a broad spectrum of stakeholders, including the Office of Regulatory Staff. Included in your agenda packets are a draft of the invitation, the agenda, and the survey. I move that the Commission gives staff the ability to refine each of these documents as needed. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner C. Williams with regard to item 13. Is there any discussion? Commissioner, I appreciate your motion. This integration study, I think, has potential to be a pretty hefty lift for whoever does the study, but it's also probably a heavy lift for all parties that will be involved in the docket. So thank you for working with staff and pulling together a motion that gets the ball rolling on this. Thank you. If there's no further discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 14 on the agenda appears in docket number 2022-234E. This is a request from Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of authority to transfer certain intercompany assets and for related accounting authority on an expedited basis.
With regard to item 14 as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, please go ahead.
I move that the Commission approve the joint application of Duke Energy Carolinas, DEC, and Duke Energy Progress, DEP, for authority to transfer intercompany assets and for related accounting authority as outlined in the joint application. The joint application is approved for the following reasons. DEC's and DEP's respective generating fleets require the companies to maintain access to spare parts for planned routine maintenance outages and potential unplanned outages. Duke wants to optimize the management of its rotable asset inventory for transferring equipment from DEC's Buck and Downriver stations to DEP's Sherwood H. Smith Jr. Energy Complex, or SNF, and Wayne County Station at fair market value instead of net book value, using the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission uniform system of accounts in order to account for the difference. Duke states that this will result in material cost savings that will benefit Duke and its ratepayers and will not involve a present change in retail rates or prices or require any change in commission rule, regulation, or policy. Nor would the resulting accounting order diminish the commission's authority to review the prudence or appropriateness of the transfer or pricing or prejudice the right of any party to address the prudency of appropriateness of these transfers or cause in DEC's or DEP's future proceedings, including rate-making proceedings. In order for the major planned outage to proceed as planned, DEP may need some of the rotable equipment at the Smith facility in late July 2022. DEC and DEP are, therefore, seeking expedited review of the application, which I also move that we grant. ORS has reviewed the company's filing and does not object to approval of the request. A 36-month amortization period was referenced by ORS in their letter dated July 27, 2022, and that time frame will be adopted in the order unless there is a timely objection from the parties. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston with regard to item 14. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 15 is in docket number 2003-277S, which is the application of Jacob Utilities LLC for approval of the sanitary sewer system discharge and treatment agreement between the town of Williamston and Jacob Utilities LLC for the Forest Hills subdivision.
Commissioners, with regard to item 15 as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, again, this is Commissioner Caston, and I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that the commission grant the request of Jacob Utilities LLC for approval of the sanitary sewer system discharge and treatment agreement between the town of Williamston and Jacob Utilities for the Forest Hills subdivision for the period of July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023. Jacob's bulk wastewater treatment provider, the town of Williamston, has increased its rate from $7.10 per thousand gallons to $9 per thousand gallons of sanitary sewer waste. Jacob must notice its affected customers of this increase via a bill insert in the August bills, with the increase becoming effective with the September billing cycle. I therefore move that the updated Jacob Utilities pass-through tariff, which is attachment B of the request, be approved. ORS has reviewed the company's filing and does not object to approval of the request. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 appears in docket number 2021-130S. This item concerns the status conference that was held on July 26, 2022 at 10 a.m. concerning Synergy Utilities LP and South Carolina Water Utilities Incorporated.
With regard to item 16, as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the parties in this docket have 10 business days to coordinate with the Office of Regulatory Staff to complete all outstanding tasks necessary to effectuate the settlement agreement. I further move that if this matter is not fully resolved in 10 business days, that the parties file all pertinent motions with the commission, including but not limited to a motion to enforce the settlement agreement. Finally, I move that any motion filed must contain a section addressing whether or not any party did not act in good faith subsequent to the opening of this docket. So moved.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, may I be recognized?
Commissioner Williams, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I make this motion in hopes that this matter can resolve itself. I appreciate the parties coming together and coming before the commission to give us a update in the status conference that took place earlier this week. It appears to me that the parties are motivated to complete the settlement agreement. I do say that it's very concerning that the matter is not already resolved. Once we heard and approved the settlement agreement, I fully believe that this matter was over and done with, and I think the residents of Northwoods Estates believe the same, as well as the utilities. I don't know if there's anything that we can do in the future when we hear settlement agreements to make sure that when a matter comes before us, that something like this won't happen again. At the end of the day, I think this is a good government issue. The residents of Northwood Estates, the utilities, they look to us to be problem solvers, to be effective, to be functional. And the fact that this settlement agreement came before us, we approved it, and it still hasn't effectuated, makes me feel like the next time we hear a settlement agreement, we need to ask more questions, maybe do a deeper dive to ensure that once we put our mark of approval on the settlement agreement, it can move forward without any disruption or hiccups in the likes of what we've seen here. Thank you, Madam Chair. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission today. So moving on to the motor carrier agenda, items numbered 1 through 6 are all applications for Class C certificates. Staff recommends that items numbers 1 through 6 be taken together, and I will briefly review them for the commission. Item number 1 is in docket number 2022-233T. It is the application of Global Logistics Care LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 2 is in docket number 2022-235T. It is the application of Mid-Atlantic Allied Group LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item number 3 is in docket number 2022-237T. It is the application of Central Midlands Adult Daycare Center LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 4 is in docket number 2022-241T. It is the application of Arthur King, doing business as ALK Transport, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item number 5 is in docket number 2022-242T. It is the application of Salim A. Munir, doing business as S&A Island Taxi, for a Class C charter certificate. And finally, item number 6 is in docket number 2022-243T. It is the application of Askew's Vision LLC, doing business as Askew's Vision Transportation, for a Class C non-emergency certificate.
Commissioners, we've heard the items identified by Mr. Scarborough on the transportation agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the commission approve the applications for Class C certificates in items numbers 1 through 6 as listed by Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion on these items? Or on the motion, excuse me. Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Vice Chair Powers?
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2011-17T and is a request from Barnum Taxi Limo Service LLC to amend its Class C taxi certificate number 8359-B to read Wilder Taxi Limo Service LLC.
With regard to item 7 on the transportation agenda, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner J. Williams?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission amend the Class C taxi certificate number 8359-B of Farmville Taxi Limo Service LLC by changing the name to Wilder Taxi Limo Service LLC. I find that an amended certificate shall be issued by the Office of Regulatory Staff upon Barnwell Taxi Limo Service LLC complying with South Carolina Code annotated section 58-23-10 as amended and the applicable regulations for the motor carriers, South Carolina Code annotated regulation volume 10 as amended, and the requirements listed in Exhibit A, which are attached to this directive. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner J. Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Items 8 through 10 involve requests for extensions of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations and can be taken together. I will review each item briefly for the Commission. Item 8 is in dockets number 2022-42T and 2022-29T. This is the request of Open Arms Counseling Center Incorporated, doing business as Open Arms Logistical Service, for an additional 2-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations. Item number 9 is in docket number 2022-132T. This is the request of 12-4 Transportation LLC for an extension of time until March 19, 2023 to comply with Commission rules and regulations. Item 10 is in docket number 2022-112T and is the request of Hunt Medical Transportation LLC for a 30-day extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
With regard to items 8 through 10 on the transportation agenda as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Vice Chair Powers, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As to number 8, the 60 days that is being given is from the date of their application. I would like to amend that to make it September 28, 2022 instead of September 7th, 2022, and would move that all 3 applications be approved with that exception being added in.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Powers that the 2-month extension on item 8 be until September 28th. That just makes it 2 months from the day of approval rather than of the date that they filed. And that the items 9 and 10 be approved as filed. Is that correct?
That's correct, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote on the motion of Vice Chair Powers, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 11 is in docket number 2022-109T and is the request of Movement Trucking and Logistics LLC for an 11-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to item 11 as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Caston. I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you have the floor.
I move that the commission grant an extension to Movement Trucking and Logistics LLC doing business as Movement Medical Transport until April 13th, 2023 to come into compliance with commission rules and regulations. This period of time represents 1 year from the issuance of Commission Order 2022-211. I so move.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Items 12 and 13 can be taken together. Item 12 appears in dockets number 2022-102T and 2022-103T. This is the request of Timothy Crawford doing business as Ritz Limousines for an extension of time until September the 1st, 2022 to comply with commission rules and regulations. Item 13 is in docket number 2022-115T and is the request of Helping Hearts Home Care LLC doing business as HH Home Care for an extension of time until October the 19th, 2022 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to items 12 and 13, as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Vice Chair Powers?
Thank you. I would move that the commission approve the extensions of times for Class C certificates and items number 12 and 13 as listed by Mr. Norman Scarborough. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Chair Powers.
Vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item 14 is in docket number 2022-125T and is a request of Simmons & Sons Trans LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to item 14, as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I have a motion.
Commissioner J. Williams?
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission grant the request of Simmons and Sons Trans LLC, extension of time until April 21st, 2023 to comply with commission rules and regulations. This period of time represents 1 year from the issuance of Commission Order 2022-250. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner J. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers?
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item 15 appears in docket number 2022-148T. This is the request of Lee's Classic Adventures LLC for a 6-month extension of time to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to item 15, as described by Mr. Scarborough, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston, you're recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Lee's Classic Adventures LLC for a 6-month extension of time until January 30th, 2023 to comply with commission rules and regulations. I so move.
Thank you. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 16 is in docket number 2021-246T and is the request of Royal Crowns Transport Service LLC for an additional extension of time until October the 31st, 2022 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
With regard to item 16, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission grant the request of Royal Crowns Transport Service LLC an extension of time until August 11, 2022 to comply with commission rules and regulations. This period of time represents 1 year from the issuance of Commission Order 2021-557. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed to a roll call vote, starting with Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 17 is in docket numbers 1997-421T and 2022-205T. This is a request from John Wadzinski to cancel Class C taxi certificate number 6537.
With regard to item 17, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner C. Williams.
I move that the commission grant the request of John A. Wadzinski to cancel Class C taxi certificate number 6537.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner C. Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, beginning with Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 18 appears in dockets number 2021-36T and 2022-205T. This is a request from Chase Fairways LLC to cancel Class C charter certificate number 9575.
With regard to item 18, as described by Mr. Scarborough, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Commissioner Powers is recognized.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the request of Chase Fairways LLC to cancel Class C certificate number 9575. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Vice Chair Powers.
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams.
Aye.
And I vote aye. The motion carries.
Item number 19 is in docket number 2022-80T. This is a request from Exclusive 234 LLC, doing business as Exclusive 234 Moving and Logistics, for approval of its proposed bill of lading.
With regard to item 19, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas.
I move that the commission approve the bill of lading proposed by Exclusive 234 LLC, DBA Exclusive 234 Moving and Logistics, which was filed on July 19th, 2022.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
I vote aye.
Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Finally, item number 20 appears in docket numbers 2018-384T and 2022-205T. This is a request from Norberto Loaiza, doing business as Green Transportation Service, for suspension of Class C taxi certificate number 9438 until December the 31st, 2022.
Commissioners, we've heard item 20 described by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams.
Thank you. I move that the commission approve the suspension of Norberto Loaiza's doing business as Green Transportation Service taxi certificate number 9438 until December 31st, 2022.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Commissioner C. Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner J. Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Powers,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As noted earlier, our next regularly scheduled business meeting will be on Thursday, August 11th at 2 p.m. This concludes today's agenda, concludes the meeting, and we are adjourned. Thank you.